Have you ever woken up in your 60s or 70s and wondered, my God, why am I still here when my peers are gone? Has the most meaningful part of my life already passed? If you feel like an antique on a shelf or a chapter that has lost its drama, then pause for a moment. The truth I'm about to reveal will make you realize that you're not living wasted days, but rather entering the greatest harvest season of your life. Before we delve into this secret, I want to ask you honestly, how did you feel this morning when you looked in the mirror? Did you see wrinkles as a sign of fatigue, or did you feel a powerful stillness growing within your soul? Please share your feelings with me, because every feeling of loneliness or hope you have right now is a crucial piece of the puzzle for the story that follows. Now, let me lead you to a small village nestled in the hills where a man named Elias lives. Elias was once a renowned blacksmith, his hands having tamed red-hot iron, creating tools that sustained the entire region. But at 74, those hands now tremble. The forge has gone out, and Elias finds himself like that fire, fading away and lost. He sat on his porch, watching the sunset and silently lamenting, "Lord, my muscular strength is gone. My memory is fading. What good is it to keep me here?" But Elias didn't know that, at the very moment he felt most insignificant, God was preparing a commission for him more important than all the plows he had forged in the past 50 years. A strange urge from the depths of his soul led him into the woods behind his house, where a fateful encounter awaited, an encounter that would completely change his definition of existence. Elias slowly walked deeper into the forest, each tap of his bamboo staff on the ground like the beat of time flowing backward. There, he encountered Micah, a 12-year-old boy huddled and sobbing. The boy had fled his home, filled with his parents shouting, fleeing the feeling of abandonment. At this moment, a spiritual truth exploded. If Elias were young and vigorous, he wouldn't have had the patience to stop. But it was the slowness of old age, the trembling of his hands, that gave him the gentleness to listen to Micah. Elias didn't use force to teach. He used the scars of his life to comfort. When scars become lessons, this is not just a touching story, but a reflection of a higher spiritual law, the distillation of the soul. In youth, we gather experience, accumulate, but old age is a process of distillation. What remains after 60 years is not book knowledge, but pure wisdom, the power of presence. The world needs young people to build, but longs for older people to restore. Elias is no longer forging iron. He is reforging faith in a child. You see, God kept Elias not to do more work, but to pass on life. Micah needed someone who had weathered the storm and still stood firm, believing that tomorrow the sun will shine. How do you feel about this? Do you see a reflection of yourself or a loved one in the powerful slowing down of Elias? In Elias's journey, there was a period when he found himself forgotten in silence. Many people in their 60s and 70s also fall into this state. They pray, but seem to receive no response. They feel detached from the hustle and bustle of the world. But look at this truth. Silence is not abandonment. It is preparation. The secret of silence. The stage of spiritual adjustment. In the Bible, the greatest tasks always begin with the longest periods of silence. Let's try a small comparison. Moses, It took 40 years of silent shepherding in the desert to be able to lead the Israelites. Jesus, he lived 30 years in silence in Nazareth before fulfilling his mission to redeem the world. Why is this silence necessary in old age? In youth, we often react to life with emotions and ego. But in old age, silence helps our minds shift from reactivity to discernment. When God becomes silent with you at age 60, it is He compresses His power within you. He is filtering out the noise of the world so that when you speak at age 70 or 80, your words are no longer personal opinions but carry the weight of prophecy. Do you know why the prayers of the elderly are more effective and carry more weight? Because they are prayers forged from decades of battling adversity. You no longer pray for frivolous things. You pray from the perspective of someone who has seen God's hand protecting them through countless abysses. When an elderly person kneels, an entire family, an entire community is sheltered under the shade of that faith. You are no longer running on your feet. You are running with the strength of perseverance. Are you currently experiencing a season of silence? Do you feel abandoned? Or are you sensing a hidden strength building within? We often look at gray hairs and the signs of time as signs of decline. But in the logic of heaven, this is when you are bestowed the crown of splendor, glory. Imagine a soldier returning from war. The scars and medals on his chest are not signs of weakness, but evidence of survival and power. Your old age is also such a medal. From decline to deployment. Society uses the word retirement to signify stopping, but God uses the word deployment. Youth is training. You learn to love, you learn to forgive, you learn to overcome loss. Old age is for action. Now, you are thrown into the spiritual battlefield, not to wield a sword, but to act as an anchor. Deep analysis. Why does the world need you to deploy right now? Because the younger generation is living in an era of distraction and anxiety. They have speed, but they lack stability. A single statement from you, "I was there and God saved me," has the power to break through the depression and fear of a young person more effectively than any flashy speech. Legacy is not money, but oil. The years you thought were wasted are actually when God is accumulating oil in your vessel. Oil of comfort, to soothe broken souls. Oil of discernment, to help you see the pitfalls young people often fall into. The oil of perseverance, to prove that faith is not a fleeting emotion but a lifelong journey. When you walk slower, that's when you leave deeper footprints for others to follow. Your gray hair is the aura of someone who has conquered time with unwavering faith. Is your mission ready? Do you feel a new current running through your weary joints after understanding this truth? This is a concise, inspiring, and abridged version. You can save it to your phone, print it out, or send it to your peers as a reminder of their noble values. 5 golden reminders. For those 60 plus, I am not outdated, I am in vogue. The world is too fast-paced and anxious. They need the stillness and stability that only I possess. My words carry weight. I don't need to say much, but every word I share carries the weight of 60 years of experience and grace. Scars are medals. Don't hide your ups and downs. What I have overcome is a roadmap to salvation for lost young people. Prayer is a battle. When I kneel or close my eyes in silent prayer, I am turning spiritual wheels that human strength cannot. Gray hair is a crown. I wear the symbol of faithfulness. I am living proof that God never abandons those who trust in Him. The next step for you. Today, try undertaking a small deployment mission. 1. Pick up the phone and call a young person in your family or among your friends. 2. Don't lecture or judge, just say one sentence. I've been through difficult times like you, and I'm sure you'll be all right because God is always there. You'll see that with just that one sentence, the oil from your flask will begin to flow and heal others. At age 60, when your legs are no longer as nimble as they once were to race through the world, God begins to open a second pair of eyes for you, the eyes of discernment. This is the secret weapon that will help you become a brilliant advisor in your family without breaking a sweat. Imagine you are standing on top of a high hill, while the young people below are frantically running through a maze, fearing they will crash into the walls. You, from the perspective of someone who has lived through 6 decades, see the entire way out. You don't need to run as fast as them. You just need to stand still and show the way. Before I reveal how to activate this power, let's pause for a moment. Have you ever foreseen an impending problem for your children or grandchildren before it even begins? That feeling isn't overthinking. It's a superpower that time has bestowed upon you. Do you want to learn how to express those things so they aren't perceived as complaints, but instead become guiding lights? To keep this power sharp, here are 3 actions you should incorporate into your daily life. Early morning, distilling the truth. Don't let negative news fill your mind. Start your day by naming a miracle you once experienced. When you recall how you weathered a storm in the past, you are sharpening your map of salvation, ready to guide others. Midday, activating your spiritual anchor. When the world outside is spinning wildly, take 10 minutes to sit quietly. Choose someone who is struggling and use your calmness to pray for them. You don't need to go anywhere. The power of your perseverance will create a zone of peace that radiates to them. End of day, sharing the oil of comfort. Don't let precious stories lie dormant. Send a short message, share a small memory with your children and grandchildren, but focus on how you conquered fear. You are pouring oil into the empty tanks of the younger generation, giving them more fuel to keep going. You see, your mission now is no longer doing, but being. You are the pillar, the lighthouse, standing firm so that the young ships out there know where the shore is. Do you feel the weight of your voice and presence after reading this? When you reach the age of 60, God not only grants you wisdom, but also an authority in speech that young people, no matter how highly educated, cannot replicate. However, to prevent that speech from becoming a dry echo in the ears of young people, you need to master the art of using this power. Remember Elias in the forest? He didn't scold Micah for running away from home, nor did he offer dogmatic teachings. He simply said, "I have felt like you." That single sentence shattered all defenses. Before we delve deeper, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever felt hurt when your heartfelt advice was ignored by your children and grandchildren, as if it were old news? That feeling of being sidelined is truly painful. But perhaps it's not because your advice is wrong, but because we haven't used the right key to unlock the hearts of this generation. Are you ready, though, to change your way of speaking, to become a mentor they will seek out for advice? To make your words carry the weight of prophecy and comfort, follow these 3 principles. Speak from experience, not from doctrine. Instead of saying, "You must do this because the book says that," say, "I have faced the same fear as you, and this is how I found the light." Young people can argue with theory, but they can never argue with lived experience. Your words at this moment are like healing oil, extracted from the very wounds you have overcome. Utilize the power of silence and listening. The greatest power of the elderly is not their ability to speak well, but their ability to listen to the very end. When you listen without judgment, you are creating a sanctuary. When young people feel understood, they will naturally open up to receive your guidance. A well-timed piece of advice after a moment of silence is worth more than 1,000 endless words. Judgment through encouragement. At this age, your words have the power to place destiny in others' hands. Instead of criticizing mistakes, use discernment to see potential that they themselves may not yet see. When you say, "I see the strength in you," you are performing a spiritual deployment, empowering them to rise again. You see, when your wisdom combines with deep empathy, your influence becomes limitless. You don't need to shout to be heard. You just need to whisper from a loving heart. And those words will resonate deep within their hearts. Do you realize that you possess a master key to unlock the hearts of those around you? In the final chapters of life, there is a sacred concept that the Bible calls the passing on the mantle, the cloak of mission. Imagine the prophet Elijah as he was about to depart. He left no gold, silver, or palaces, but his cloak, a symbol of power and anointing, to his disciple Elisha. At age 60, 70, or later, you are an Elijah, holding the cloak of wisdom and invincible faith. Your final mission is not to keep that cloak for yourself, but to prepare gloriously to pass it on to future generations. Before we begin this sacred ritual, I want you to look deep into your heart. What do you want your descendants and those around you to remember you for most? Is it a material fortune that will dwindle over time, or a flame of faith that, whenever they face storms, they only need to remember your serene smile to stand firm? The desire to leave an eternal mark is the call of heaven, urging you in your soul. To make this transmission ritual truly powerful, begin the 3 steps of weaving the cloak today. Rewrite the genealogy of miracles. Don't just tell about your brilliant successes, tell about the times you were at your lowest, but God took your hand and pulled you up. A spiritual testament recording how you overcame the pain of loss, failure, or illness is the strongest golden thread to weave the cloak for your descendants. They won't need to learn how to avoid the storm. They need to learn how you trusted God in the midst of it. Confirmation and anointing with blessing. In the Bible, a parent's final blessing carries a fateful weight. Take the initiative to lay hands on or send a powerful affirmation to the young people you trust. When you say, "I give you the perseverance I have maintained for the past 70 years, it's not just empty words. It's a true transfer of power and impartation in the spiritual world, becoming an eternal presence. Your greatest legacy is how you live in peace amidst a turbulent world. When you face the difficulties of old age with gratitude instead of complaining, you are teaching the next generation a lesson no school can teach. Faith has no retirement age. You see, your longevity is a strategy of God. He keeps you here so that you may be a witness to the truth that God is faithful. You are not walking into darkness, you are walking into the brilliance of someone who has completed the race and is ready to pass the torch to the next. Do you feel a sense of lightness and pride spreading through your heart as you realize the value of the legacy you hold? Excellent. This isn't a typical to-do checklist, but a 7-day plan to redefine your existence. Think of this as a week-long inauguration of your new mission. 7-day plan, from existence to implementation. Day 1, day of thanksgiving for scars. Action. Sit quietly and list the 3 biggest life events you have overcome thanks to God's grace. Purpose. Shift your perspective from I have suffered to I have been rescued to become a witness. Day 2, day of activating blessings. Action. Choose a young person, child, grandchild, or former subordinate, and send them a message or call just to say, I am proud of you, and I believe you will accomplish great things. Purpose. To exercise the power of impartation, transmitting energy. Day 3, day of cleaning the vessel. Action. Give up a habit of complaining about your health or the past. Instead, each time you are about to complain, say a Bible promise. For example, my new strength comes from the Lord. Purpose. Cleanse your spiritual vessel to prepare it for pouring out the oil of comfort. Day 4, day of establishing an anchor. Action. Spend 15 minutes in focused prayer for someone you know who is experiencing a storm. Don't pray for yourself. Stand as a bridge for them. Purpose. Exercise the powerful role of intercessor. Day 5, storm map sketching. Day Action. Begin writing the first lines of your legacy letter. Tell about a time you found light in the darkest tunnel. Purpose. Weave the first threads for your mission cloak. Day 6, silent presence. Day Action. Attend a family or friends gathering, but focus on listening. Ask, how are you feeling? Instead of offering immediate advice. Purpose. Use the power of discernment and empathy. Day 7, declaration and implementation. Day Action. Stand before a mirror and read aloud the declaration of purpose that we drafted together in the previous section. Purpose. Confirm to yourself and the spiritual world that you are ready for the most glorious chapter. Final message for you. You are no longer an old person waiting for time to pass. You are a lighthouse being lit to guide lost ships. These 7 days are just the beginning. Every morning when you wake up, ask yourself, today, whose vessel will I pour oil into? We have journeyed together to discover why God keeps you here beyond the age of 60. You are not a ruin, but a powerful relic holding the cloak of mission to pass on to future generations. Before concluding this analysis, I have a question specifically for your heart. If you were Elias today, which triumphant story of your life would you choose to tell to ignite hope in a lost young person? Write that story or simply comment the phrase, "My purpose is still alive," below as an act of affirmation to heaven of your new mission. If these messages have touched your soul and empowered your steps, don't forget, subscribe to the channel so we can continue our journeys of deeper spirituality. Share this video with your peers who need a reminder that they are still incredibly important to the world. Thank you for listening. Keep moving forward with confidence, for your crown has been placed and the world awaits your performance. Goodbye and see you on your next journey.